now here's human music.
So I heard you want to buy an FRS, BRZ, or 86. You guys are definitely heading in the right direction. So you guys clicked on today's video because you possibly want to buy one of the cars from the 86 platform. I hear a lot of things right here and I'm kind of getting creeped out. Oh, they're just rabbits. So I'm here to tell you guys from my experience owning this FRS for around 3 years. I'm gonna tell you guys why you should buy one of these cars and pretty much how good they are. So if you guys are new to the channel and this is your very first video that you've seen from me, this is my 2016 Scion FRS. Now I know it doesn't look like an FRS because it does have a BRZ bumper in the front, but if you guys do not know, a lot of people comment on why I have Toyota badges on my FRS. And if you guys don't know, they're literally the same exact cars. The FRS, BRZ, and 86, literally the same. The only difference the three of them have is the front bumper pretty much. So they all have different front bumpers, but besides that, same motor, they're not turbo, they're literally the exact same car. So just to clear that up, because a lot of people get kind of like triggered, I guess I can say. I just had to clear that up for you guys before we start today's video. And one thing I did notice is that I pretty much have one piece from all three of the cars. So I have a BRZ bumper on an FRS with Toyota badges on the back. Anyways, getting to today's video, I got this car March of 2016. Almost 4 years. Wow. I literally did not think of that. I've almost had this car for 4 years, which is crazy. It's the longest time that I've ever owned a car. And I'm gonna keep this completely raw for you guys. Like, I'm not gonna make this video like a boring, like informative, like specs of the engine, all that stuff. I'm gonna keep this as raw as possible, short and simple. If you guys are planning to buy one of these cars, this video is gonna be short and sweet, the basics that you need to know before buying this. Okay, unless I'm like out of town or something, I drive this car pretty much every single day. So it is my daily driver. I do not have another car. This thing does not sit in the garage whatsoever. Right now, okay, I'll actually give you guys the exact amount of mileage that I have. 93,236. And my car is a 2016. So if you guys do the math, that is way over than like average. If I drove like, I guess you can say average, I would probably have maybe 40,000 miles on the car, 50,000, but I'm over double the mileage on the car. So that is a little reference for you guys to show you guys how much I drive this car. So alongside it being my daily driver, I do have a lot of mods on this car. I've changed the whole suspension, wheel tire setup, control arms on the bottom. I changed the subframe, differential bushings, all the lights, exhaust of course. Oh, we can't forget the molded wide body kit. So I have the molded Rocket Bunny V1 fenders on the car. In my opinion, this thing is pretty modified. Just because it doesn't have a turbo doesn't mean that it's not modified. But hey, maybe in the future that'll change, who knows. I feel like I'm getting very off topic, but in the 4 years of ownership that I've had this car, it has given me minimal problems. The only major problem, I don't even need to call it major, but like the only big problem, I guess I can say, was that the axles gave out. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, the FRS/BRZ/86 have weak axles when you lower the car. When you lower the car, the axles go at an angle. So with that being said, they break and you have to replace the axles. And it's not like a crazy process. I freaked out at first because I didn't know what was happening. I did make a video on that. I'll put a little card at the top right here to show you guys exactly what happens. That is like the only one problem that I've ran into with this car on the upcoming 4 years of ownership that I've had it. Engine wise, I haven't had any problems. Like, I'm literally trying to think of something wrong that's happened with this car. I can't think of anything really. Now, one thing that did help with the axle problem was the subframe and differential risers. So they raised the whole subframe, they raised the diff. So the axles turn straight instead of all bent. Problem wise / reliability, this car is awesome. One thing that I've heard with this car, I don't know like the full detail list regarding this issue, but I've heard this thing going around with the 2013 FRSs. They have this valve spring recall in the engine. So that's one thing that I guess you guys can take into consideration if you guys are gonna buy a 2013 FRS. But don't let me get started on the modifications, because I can talk about this for hours and hours with how many mods that you can buy for this platform. So many things that you can buy for this car. If you guys are looking to buy an FRS because you want to get into modding cars, this is literally the perfect car that you can get. If you guys have followed my channel for a while now, you guys know that I've gone through so many setups. I've changed the wheels out so many times. I've messed with my headlights, taillights. I've gone through like 3 or 4 different lip kits, swapped out my taillights like a few times. There is so many parts. Like, I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of aftermarket parts that you can choose from that can fit your taste. Definitely keep that in mind if you plan to mod this car. Now, that may sound biased because this is the only car that I have, but just looking at this car in the car community, this car is very popular. A lot of people have it, and that pretty much speaks for itself because there's so many things that you can do with it. Now, one mistake that I did make with this car was that I bought it brand new from the dealership, which I do not recommend whatsoever. So just do me a favor, do not buy it brand new, because you will waste a lot of money that you could be spending on for some aftermarket parts. To put it into perspective, I got this car for $26,000. Now that's not including the taxes that it came with from the dealership. So $26,000 brand new versus $13K used. That is almost half the price. That definitely would have made a huge difference for my pockets, but I can't do anything anymore. I can't look back on it. It is what it is. I just take it as a lesson learned and a tip for you guys before you buy this car. Even if you guys don't know how to drive a manual, be sure to buy the manual because it is day and night difference. Now, learning stick shift on this car is not the hardest thing ever. This car is super easy to drive. My mom has driven this car, and I've also taught my girlfriend how to drive this car. My girlfriend knew nothing about driving manual. Day one, has never touched a 6-speed ever in her life, and I taught her how to drive this car fully, and she drives this car on the streets. It is literally just a good first car. All around will satisfy your needs. Well, almost all of them besides speed, but the car is not the fastest thing off of the line. It's pretty obvious. A lot of people talk about that. When you put that aside and you drive this car, it is so fun to drive. Like, I have friends that own Mustangs, Z06 Corvettes, super fast muscle cars, and they get behind the wheel of this thing and they say it is so fun. If you're looking into speed with this car, you may not get it, but sacrificing speed, you will for sure get a fun car to drive. If you guys stay up to date on the videos, I did add a few things on the car if you guys haven't noticed yet. I did add some side skirts. These things have been laying in my garage for months now, and I finally decided to pick them up and throw them on the car. And I wish I did this sooner, but it looks so good. It matches the front lip so well, and oh my gosh, it just flows. Also, for the rear, I put my rear diffuser back on. I took this diffuser off months ago because I feel like it didn't flow. I feel like it didn't flow really well. I felt like something was missing. And what was missing all along was side skirts. And once I threw the side skirts on and I threw the rear diffuser back on, if you guys come from this angle, they literally match up. Dude, it looks so good. Like, I get so hyped over it still looking at it. Oh my gosh. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below of the diffuser with the side skirts. Ah, I love it. I'm about to take this car on a drive and let you guys enjoy the exhaust sound that I have with the car. And I guess you can say a little view from behind the driver's seat as if you guys own the car. But before that, it is Sunday right now, December 20, I think it is the 22nd of December. I want to wish you all a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Enjoy these precious times with your family or whoever you want to spend Christmas with, because I want to remind you, tomorrow is never promised. You may never know, life can change in a snap of a finger and everything can be wiped away. So just cherish today, be grateful for what you have. Live every day like it is your last, because you just never know what can happen the next day. Don't take everything for granted. I love you all. Thank you if you've reached this far in the video. I truly appreciate all 24, almost 25,000 of you guys. So every day I wake up so thankful. It literally just means the world that I have so many amazing supporters like you guys. Just thank you so much with all I have. And yeah, enjoy the rest of today's video.